Hello and welcome to this video where we will explore the fascinating history of artificial intelligence, or AI for short. AI is the branch of computer science that aims to create machines and systems that can perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as reasoning, learning, decision-making, and creativity. But how did this field emerge and evolve over time? Let's find out. The idea of creating artificial beings that can think and act like humans is not new. It goes back to ancient times, when myths and legends featured stories of robots, automatons, and androids that were endowed with intelligence or consciousness by master craftsmen. For example, in Greek mythology, there was Talos, a giant bronze guardian who protected the island of Crete by throwing boulders at invaders. However, the scientific foundations of AI were laid by philosophers who tried to understand the nature and process of human thinking as the mechanical manipulation of symbols. This led to the development of logic and mathematics, which are essential tools for AI. In the 17th century, philosopher René Descartes proposed that animals and humans are complex machines that can be understood by breaking them down into simpler parts. The invention of the programmable digital computer in the 1940s was a major breakthrough for AI. It was based on the abstract essence of mathematical reasoning and could perform any computation given a set of instructions. This inspired a handful of scientists to start discussing the possibility of building an electronic brain that could mimic human intelligence. The term artificial intelligence was coined in 1956 by John McCarthy, who organized a workshop at Dartmouth College with other pioneers of the field, such as Marvin Minsky, Claude Shannon, and Alan Turing. They envisioned that a machine as intelligent as a human being would exist in no more than a generation, and they received millions of dollars in funding to make this vision come true. The early years of AI research were full of optimism and achievements. Some of the milestones include: 1. The logic theorist, developed by Alan Newell, Herbert Simon, and Cliff Shaw in 1955, was the first program to prove mathematical theorems using symbolic logic. 2. The general problem solver, also developed by Newell and Simon in 1957, was the first program to use means-ends analysis to solve problems that require planning and reasoning. 3. The perceptron, developed by Frank Rosenblatt in 1958, was the first neural network model that could learn from data and recognize patterns. 4. ELIZA, developed by Joseph Weizenbaum in 1966, was the first natural language processing program that could simulate a conversation with a human by using pattern matching and substitution. 5. SHRDLU, developed by Terry Winograd in 1970, was the first program that could understand and manipulate objects in a simulated world using natural language commands. However, by the 1970s, it became clear that AI was much harder than expected. Many of the problems that seemed easy for humans, such as vision, speech recognition, common sense reasoning, and natural language understanding, were actually very complex and required a lot of knowledge and computation. On the other hand, some of the problems that seemed hard for humans, such as chess playing or theorem proving, were actually easier for machines because they had well-defined rules and goals. In 1974, James Lighthill published a critical report on AI research in Britain that highlighted its limitations and failures. This led to a cut in funding from both governments and industry. This period of reduced interest and investment in AI is known as the first AI winter. The second wave of AI research started in the 1980s with new approaches and techniques, expert systems, developed by Edward Feigenbaum and others in the 1980s, were programs that could encode and apply the knowledge of human experts in specific domains, such as medicine, engineering, or law. They used rules and facts to perform inference and reasoning. One. Connectionism, revived by Geoffrey Hinton and others in the 1980s, was an approach that used artificial neural networks to model complex phenomena, such as vision, speech, and natural language. 1. It was inspired by the structure and function of biological neurons and synapses. 2. Genetic algorithms, developed by John Holland and others in the 1970s and 1980s, were methods that used evolutionary principles to optimize solutions to problems. 2. They used concepts such as mutation, crossover, and selection to generate and evaluate new candidates. 3. Fuzzy logic, developed by Lotfi Zadeh and others in the 1960s and 1980s, was a technique that used degrees of truth rather than binary logic to deal with uncertainty and ambiguity. 3. It was applied to fields such as control systems, robotics, and image processing. The second wave of AI research also saw some impressive achievements and applications. Some of them are: 1. Deep Blue, developed by IBM in 1997, was the first computer program to defeat a world chess champion, Garry Kasparov, in a 6-game match. 2. ALVINN, developed by Dean Pomerleau and Todd Joachim at Carnegie Mellon University in 1989, was the first self-driving car that could navigate on public roads using a neural network. 3. CYC, developed by Doug Lenat and others since 1984, was an ambitious project that aimed to create a comprehensive ontology and knowledge base of common-sense facts and rules that could enable machines to reason about the world. 4. Watson, developed by IBM in 2011, was a question-answering system that could compete and win against human champions in the quiz show Jeopardy! It used natural language processing, information retrieval, knowledge representation, and machine learning to understand and answer complex questions. However, the second wave of AI research also faced some challenges and limitations. 1. The knowledge acquisition bottleneck was a problem that affected expert systems and other knowledge-based systems. 1. It referred to the difficulty and cost of obtaining, verifying, and maintaining the large amount of domain-specific knowledge that these systems required to function effectively. 1. It also limited the scalability and generality of these systems, as they could only perform well in narrow and well-defined domains. This brings us to the end of this video, where we have explored the history of artificial intelligence from its origins to its challenges. 1. We have seen how AI has evolved from symbolic logic and rule-based systems to neural networks and evolutionary algorithms, and how it has achieved remarkable feats and applications in various domains. 1. However, we have also seen how AI has faced some difficulties and limitations, such as the knowledge acquisition bottleneck and the AI winter. But this is not the end of the story. AI is still a very active and dynamic field that continues to advance and innovate. In the next video, we will look at the third wave of AI research, which is characterized by new paradigms and techniques that aim to overcome some of the previous limitations and enable machines to learn from data, interact with humans, and understand context and causality. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to leave your comments and questions below. See you next time. Smile.